By its clear and explicit terms, Virginia's anti-SLAPP provides immunity from liability only when a claim for defamation is based solely on a statement regarding matters of public concern. And then it cites to Virginia Code Section 8.01-223.2, which is the anti-SLAPP statute, where in quotations they have a person shall be immune from civil liability for a claim of defamation based solely on statements regarding matters of public concern that would be protected under the First Amendment to the United States Constitution made by that person that are communicated to a party. For Ms. Heard to be able to take advantage of the statute, then she must establish that she has been sued based solely on a statement regarding a matter of public concern that is thereby entitled to protection under the First Amendment. Okay, so here's my first thought on this. And I'm going to pull up the actual language of the statute. This argument actually could be stronger. I think that they may have missed one opportunity for an argument here. And there's a very specific reason, and it's because the anti-SLAPP statute actually has two parts to it. The first part is this, what they say here regarding matters of public concern. This is a correct citation. This is a correct characterization of this of part of this statute. It's not misleading in any way. Like, this is actually true. But let me show you the Virginia Code here. So this reads here, Part 1, regarding matters of public concern that would be protected under the First Amendment to the United States Constitution made by that person that are communicated to a third party or made at a public hearing, blah, blah, blah. We can ignore that. But let's take a look at this last sentence here. The immunity provided by the section shall not apply to any statements made with actual or constructive knowledge that they are false or with reckless disregard for whether they are false. Now, if you are someone who has been following this case and has been following defamation cases generally for people that are in the public limelight, people that are public figures, you know that a defamation case, the plaintiff has to prove not only that the person made a false statement about the plaintiff, and that the false statement was made to other people, and that therefore the plaintiff suffered reputational harm of some sort, but also that the defendant made that statement not just negligently, but with actual malice. Now, what we're talking about with actual malice, of course, is that the plaintiff has to show that the defendant made the statement either knowing that it was false or with reckless disregard as to the truth or falsity of the statement. So that's something for any kind of a defamation case for any public figure. And so here we have two public figures. They both are alleging some level of defamation claims against one another now, because starting with Johnny Depp, he's the original one that filed this defamation claim in 2019 because of her op-ed in the Washington Post. And then Amber Heard came back and filed counterclaims against him, alleging defamation because of things that his lawyer said. Now, when we're talking about the anti-SLAPP statute here, there are two parts that I just mentioned. There's the matter of public concern. So let me state it this way, just to make it clear. So in order for any person, whether it's a public, a person whether we're talking about people that are in the public eye, or, regular Joe Schmoes asserting defamation claims against each other, they can fall under the statute if the statement, number one, addresses matters of public concern, and two, is not made with actual malice. So in this case, if you have a statement where you can show that a statement was made with actual malice, then that statement is not going to fall under the anti-SLAPP statute. And that's exactly what's going on in this case. In the case of Johnny Depp against Amber Heard, he's saying that her statement was made with actual malice because he has to show that, because he's a public figure. So basically, functionally, what the Virginia anti-SLAPP statute does is, where we have people that are that have different standards of proof, depending on whether they're a public figure or not a public figure. For non-public figures, in some circumstances, it raises their standard of proving. So it raises their standard of proof for their claims, so long as they are talking about something of a public matter. Now, in this case, a public figure could fall under this statute, so long as, number one, they are not acting they didn't make the statement with actual malice, and number two, if they are talking about something of a public concern. The problem with asserting anti-SLAPP immunity against, for a statement that was made about somebody that's in the public eye is no matter what, you run into this issue of actual malice. So if you can show, it still comes down to whether or not the statement was made in actual malice, because Johnny Depp affirmatively has to prove that. And Amber Heard would affirmatively have to show, if she wants to use this defense, that she didn't. So I think that probably is one of the reasons why this judge has not actually ruled on this, despite the fact that they have they've had actual motion practice. There have been several motions to dismiss, pleas in bargain, where both sides have argued about this issue on anti-SLAPP, about whether or not Amber Heard is entitled to this immunity. The judge did rule on whether or not Johnny Depp is entitled to the immunity. And the judge found that the statements that were alleged, that are allegedly attributable to him through his lawyer, were not statements of public concern. So the court said that he didn't have any immunity under anti-SLAPP. So that was one. But otherwise, the judge hasn't really decided anything in terms of anti-SLAPP for the issue of Amber Heard falling under anti-SLAPP. So anyhow, so that's the first part here, is that I think that this argument could be bolstered by Johnny Depp saying, oh, and also she doesn't fall under anti-SLAPP because of the fact that she made the statement with actual malice.